regular business meeting for August the 27th, 2018. Invocation by Councilman Mertz.
Proverbs 1:10-16, my son, if simple men entice you, do not give in to them. If they say, come along with us, let's lie and wait for innocent blood, let's ambush some harmless soul and swallow them alive like the grave. And like those who go down to the pit, we will take their valuable things and fill our homes with their plunder. Cast lots with us, and we shall share the loot. My son, do not go along with them. Do not set foot in their paths, for their feet rush into evil. They are swift to shed blood. May we be granted the wisdom to choose wisely tonight, and may we not use our power to strip one of their property so that others benefit from their own choices. May we not make a mockery of God by mistaking ourselves for Robin Hood under the guise of good deeds.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I move to approve the minutes of Council's regular business meeting of July 23rd, 2018, as submitted to each member of Council.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the minutes from Council's regular business meeting. Are there any comments? Any changes? Hearing none, there's been a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Under announcements,
I move to approve a proclamation declaring September is National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in the town of McCandless.
Second.
I'd like to read that proclamation. Whereas September is known throughout the United States as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month and is intended to help promote awareness surrounding each of the suicide prevention resources available to us in our community. Whereas our goal is to learn how to help those around us and how to talk about suicide without increasing the risk of harm. And whereas suicidal thoughts can affect anyone regardless of age, gender, race, orientation, income level, religion, or background. And whereas, according to the United States Center for Disease Control, for each year, more than 41,000 people die by suicide. And whereas, suicide is the 10th leading cause of death among adults in the United States and the second leading cause of death among people aged 10 to 24. And whereas the town of McCandless, Pennsylvania, is no different than any other community in this country, but chooses to publicly state and place its full support behind local educators, mental health professionals, athletic coaches, scout leaders, police officers, and parents as partners in supporting our community, in simply being aware, available to each other. And whereas local organizations like Suicide Prevention Services and national organizations like the National Alliance on Mental Health are on the front lines of a battle that may still refuse to discuss in public, as suicide and mental illness remains too much a forbidden topic about which to speak openly. And whereas every member of our community should understand that throughout life's struggles, we all need the occasional reminder that we are all silently fighting our own battles. And whereas we encourage all residents to take the time to inquire as to the well-being of their family, friends, and neighbors over the next few days, and to genuinely convey their appreciation for their existence by any gesture they deem appropriate. A simple phone call, message, handshake, or hug can go a long way toward helping someone realize that suicide is not the answer. Now, whereas it is resolved that we, the Town Council of the Town of McCandless, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2018 as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in the state of Pennsylvania. There is a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Public safety?
Good evening. Tonight is a very good night for the McCandless Police Departments and for the citizens we serve. I proudly introduce and respectfully present to council 6 individuals tonight. 5 of them will be promoted to leadership positions in this police department. They are our future. They went through a rigorous testing procedure, took the initiative, had the desire, dedication, and work ethic to be a major contributor in our police department, and value the goals of the department and want to make our department the best and most professional that it can be. Through this intense process, they all should be commended, as I truly believe that the cream did rise to the top. These 5 individuals here today are the future of the police department. I will do everything in my power to help them, mentor them, and assist them to growing both professionally and personally. I would also like to commend the officers that were in the process, Officers David Martin and Eric Bargolan, who also sacrificed time and energy towards their promotions. Be noted that both these officers did very well and will be major contributors to the departments in other ways and in the future. I would also like tonight to welcome Officer Carl Yaney from the city of Pittsburgh, who will be joining our patrol division. Carl is here and will be also sworn in this evening. I want to thank everyone that was involved in this process, from management to personnel board, and especially my sincere thanks to town council, who has the vision of having the most professional police department that we can have to represent our department with plans of excellence and looking to the future. And I am sincerely grateful to each and every one of you for that. At this time, I would like to call up to the podium our Public Safety Director, Carolyn Schwager, for the official swearing in of these police officers.
Thank you, Chief DeSanti. This is an honor for myself and for council to act on the following promotions. Therefore, I now move to promote Jeffrey G. Basil to rank of lieutenant within the McCandless Police Department.
I second the motion.
There is a motion and there is a second. Are there any comments? Hearing none. All those in favor of promoting Jeffrey G. Basil to the rank of lieutenant indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
This time, Jeffrey's mother's going to finish bed.
Oh, comments?
Did you want to say anything?
I don't know what we're giving away tonight, but thank you all for coming out. As Chief said, I'd really like to express my thanks to Town Council and Chief DeSanti for giving not only myself, but everyone else here in this opportunity. Thank you.
Next, move to promote Ryan P. Hawk to the rank of lieutenant with the McCandless Police Department.
Second.
There has been a motion and a second to promote Ryan P. Hawk to the rank of lieutenant. Is there any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations.
Ryan's mother's going to come up.
Shake his hand.
part of the command staff here and lead the department into the future. Also, my folks, obviously, my in-laws, sister and her family, my own family are here. They've taken up about half the staff. And I would probably name all of my children back there, but we're on a time schedule. Thank you, guys.
Next, move to promote Eric J. Egley to the rank of sergeant with the McCandless Police Department.
I second that motion.
There has been a motion and a second to promote Eric J. Egley to the rank of sergeant. Any comments? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations.
At this time, Eric's dad served in Vietnam, or a Vietnam War veteran and a retired Pennsylvania State Trooper.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate everybody. Thank you, council. Thank you, Chief Sandy. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Kaylee. For the opportunity to lead the department. Thank you to the firemen for coming. My family, my wife, for all the support. We'll do the best we can to represent the community, and we'll guarantee to have a professional department here. Thank you.
Next, move to promote Michael R. Cheverench to the rank of sergeant within the McCandless Police Department.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to promote Michael J. Cheverenchnik to the rank of sergeant. Any comments? Hearing none. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations.
Father, retired lieutenant, police department. Just gonna move the family.
Did this for a lot of years.
I too would like to thank council and Chief Sandy, as others have said, for this unique opportunity. And I shall not let the community, the citizens of this town down. I would like to thank my wife for her unwavering and solid support over the years in supporting me in what is a very tough field and tough occupation. I would like to thank my family in general, and I would like to thank my father in specific for showing me what it takes to be a man, and what it takes to be a police officer. Thank you.
Next, move to promote Christian P. Guzzo to the rank of sergeant within the McCandless Police Department.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to promote Christian P. Guzzo for the rank of sergeant within the McCandless Police Department. Any comments? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations.
His son's gonna come up with the honor.
Now I would like to call up Officer Carl Yaney as I will administer the oath of office. Okay, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Carl F. Yaney,
I, Carl F. Yaney,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge
and that I will discharge
the duties of police officer
the duties of police officer
for the town of McCandless with fidelity.
for the town of McCandless with fidelity.
Congratulations.
This is Carl's fiance. One quick comment. I look in the back and I see a volunteer fire department, and the relationship we have in this time with you guys, you come to these events, you show up, and it's heartfelt, and we work so well with you both personally, professionally. And one of the guys elaborated on it, but I really cherish that relationship. You guys are just gentlemen, all-stars, and you're a wonderful part of our community, and I sincerely thank you for being here tonight to show support for these police officers. Thank you.
I would just like one more round of applause for all of our emergency services personnel. Zoning Committee?
Move to approve the land development application from Direct Supply of Torah on behalf of Well Tower, Inc. for Sunrise of McCandless located at 900 Lincoln Club Drive to construct a 28-room expansion of Sunrise's assisted and personal care facility. Existing structure as per job number 3180015, sheets 1 through 32, prepared by R.A. Smith National, dated July 6, 2018, revised August 10, 2018, with such approval, including a modification from the town code to prevent construction of a 10.5-foot retaining wall on the site and conditioned upon a payment of $76,500 to the town of McCandless Transportation District Fund in lieu of construction of a sidewalk along Babcock Boulevard frontage of this property at this time.
I second the motion.
There has been a motion and a second to move to approve the land development application to have a payment of the town in lieu of a sidewalk of $76,500. Are there any comments from anyone in council? Are there any comments from the audience? Hearing none, we will vote on this motion. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries unanimously.
Second item on the agenda is move to approve a simple subdivision application from Timothy A. Piper for the Piper Plan of Lots, which is located at 573 Cumberland Road. This request to divide the land in the two-family dwelling on it, which is west of Guinevere Drive, as per project 25419, prepared by Tran Corporation, dated July 6, 2018, and revised August 13, 2018.
I second the motion.
There has been a motion and a second to approve this simple subdivision application. Are there any questions by council? Any comments from any of the citizens? Hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
The third item is to move to approve the land development application submitted by Seavest Healthcare Properties LLC, care of Trammell Crow Company, to construct a four-story, 49,435 square foot hospital and medical office building, a reduction from the 52,000 square foot building indicated on the original plan at the southwest corner of the intersection of Duncan Avenue at McKnight Road, as per project 17334.002, sheets 1 through 28, dated July 9th, 2018, with the latest revision being August 13th, 2018. The post-construction stormwater management plan prepared by Civil Environmental Consultants dated July 2018, as revised August 2018, and the architectural renderings prepared by Phil Wilkie Partnership dated August 1st, 2018, with the granting of a modification to the town code to construct a retaining wall with a height of up to 45 feet along the property's southern boundary and allow a decorative fence of 6 feet or more in height above the retaining wall, with the understanding that the 5,500 square foot restaurant and the number of trips attributed to it under the town's transportation district regulations are being shown on the plan for illustrative purposes only.
I second the motion.
There has been a second and a motion and a second to approve the land development of Seavest. Is there any comments or questions from council? Any comments or questions from the audience? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the land development application submitted by Seavest Healthcare Properties indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? With one abstention.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is, before I make this rezoning motion for 131 Montclair from highway commercial to R2 residential, as the other properties that have a Montclair address or zone, I've modified the motion based on what I discovered when I visited the Recorder of Deeds of Allegheny County. I looked at the deed from Linda Harding, the sister of Ken and Terry Hoagie, who are partners of 131 Montclair LP. The entity, Linda Harding, and her husband, Jerry, sold 131 Montclair too, and noticed that under the description of the property, it included a statement that reads, being lot number 1, parcel A in the Kenneth W. Hoagie plan. If you go to the handout and look at page 2, you'll see those certain lots or pieces. This is an indenture. All those certain lots or pieces of ground situated in the town of McCandless, County of Allegheny, and State of Pennsylvania, being lot number 1 and parcel A in the Kenneth W. Hoagie plan and recorded in Recorder's Office of Allegheny County, and it gives you the plan number, plan volume, and the page where it's recorded. I got a copy of that subdivision plan recorded by Ken W. Hoagie in 1994, and notice parcel A is a lot approximately 160 plus feet by 48 plus feet, which borders on the property of on Perry Highway, owned by 8518 Perry Associates LLC, whose members are Ken G. Hoagie and Terry Hoagie, who work or used to work at Superior Polls. A copy of 131 Montclair is actually attached to the proclamation that Kim read today. It's and if you'll notice that parcel A is directly across from Superior Polls property, and parcel 1, the one I want to have rezoned from commercial to residential is the rest of the property. So that parcel A contains about 7,700 plus square feet, leaving about 21,000 square feet for parcel 1. Note that Kenneth W. Hoagie's subdivision plan reads that parcel A was to be used for the pole business. I looked at I gave it to Bruce Bay because I couldn't read the small print, and that's why he read to me. Trying to keep with Ken W. Hoagie's wishes while not hurting the neighbors of Montclair, I am now suggesting that Town Council rezone 131 Montclair excluding parcel A. In other words, we'll just be working with parcel 1. The part of parcel A, the part of 131 Montclair Avenue known as parcel A on the Kenneth W. Hoagie plan, containing approximately 7,700 square feet. This would leave just lot 1 being rezoned from commercial to residential. With this goal in view, I will now provide some additional information for Town Council to consider before I move to rezone 131 Montclair, excluding parcel A from highway commercial to residential as the rest of the houses with a Montclair address are zoned. 131 Montclair is the only lot with a Montclair Avenue address that is zoned C3, Highway Commercial District. All of the other properties on Montclair Avenue with a Montclair Avenue address are zoned R2 residential. C3, Highway Commercial District, is a district which is primarily used to recognize the existing commercial development along major highways. It is governed by Article 1331 of the Zoning Code. Section 1331.03 states that access shall be from a collector road, for example, Perrymont Road or Grubbs Road, or arterial roads such as Perry Highway or McKnight Road. Montclair Avenue is neither a collector road or an arterial road. It is a street with 17 homes, including 131 Montclair, that ends in a dead end. It was clearly zoned C3 in error. 131 Montclair has a house on it built in 1910. I found out recently that it was sold by the executor of the estate of Edward H. Coerborough, the person who built it in 1910. The estate sold it in 1985, 33 years ago, to Mr. and Mrs. Ken W. Hoagie for $60,280. The house at 131 Montclair was transferred to Mr. Kenneth W. Hoagie's daughter, Linda, and her husband, Jerry, on July 12, 2001, as a gift. Linda and Jerry Harding and their family have resided there. As late as last year, the house was rented out for residential uses. It was always a residential use when Mr. Coerborough owned it. It is currently owned of record by the Limited Partnership 131 Montclair Limited Partnership, which was purchased for $1 from Linda and Jerry Harding on October 16, 2015. Ken G. Hoagie, the son of Ken W. Hoagie, said at the zoning committee meeting on August 13, 2018, that he and his brother Terry paid not $1 for it, but $150,000 for it. However, if you look at the deed and the realty transfer statement of value prepared and filed with the recorder of deeds for Allegheny County states that consideration for both documents was $1. So if you look under D of the realty transfer tax statement of value, they say total consideration is $1, and then therefore they have to compute the tax using a combination of the county assessed value of $98,300 plus a common level ratio of 1.09 and a computed amount which is $107,000. The transfer tax is then paid on the computed value, not the $1 that the deed says it was transferred for. The realty transfer tax is $1 for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, 1% for the town of McCandless, and 0.5% for the Allegheny School District. Since the consideration was $1, the taxes were computed on and it was a taxable deal. The taxes were computed on the county assessed value times the common level ratio factor in accordance with line D 4, 5, and 6 of the realty transfer tax statement of value. That calculation results in the transfer tax being based not on $150,000 Ken said he and Terry paid, but on $107,000, the assessed value of the land. Now let's take a look at what would happen to 131 Montclair if it is rezoned to R2, not including parcel A. In other words, we rezone about 21,000 plus square feet of in accordance with Ken W. Hoagie's plan. 205 Montclair Avenue is a property that recently sold for almost $270,000. A comparison of 205 Montclair to 131 Montclair without parcel A being included shows the following. 205 Montclair, the lot area is 16,000 plus. 131 Montclair, without parcel A, the lot area is 21,000 square feet. The difference is 4,600 plus in favor of 131 Montclair. The living area was 1,891 square feet for 205 Montclair, and it was 2,290 square feet for 131 Montclair. The difference is almost 400 square feet. So a smaller house than 131 Montclair on a smaller lot sold for almost $270,000. But some may say that the house in 205 Montclair was built in 1997 is only 23 years old versus a house built at 131 Montclair being built in 1910 and being 108 years old. But builders back then really built houses to last, and this one was definitely built to last. 131 Montclair has a slate roof. It has hardwood floors throughout, French doors, also has a fireplace with a large wooden mantel. It is reported on documents show that Edward E. Cobo had his house at 131 Montclair Avenue painted every few years. After his wife Evelyn died in April 10th of 1992, he lived there by himself and had professional landscapers keep the yard in tip-top condition. In the words of a neighbor, Mr. Cobo's house in 1985 outshined the other houses, even the newer ones, when it was sold to Kenneth W. Hoagie and his wife in 1985 for $60,000 plus. It was a beautiful house and property. It was an old house, but my son and his wife bought a house in Boston, Massachusetts in 2002 that was built in 1890, 20 years older than the house at 131 Montclair Avenue, built in 1910, and they paid $475,000 for it. They lived there until 2012 and sold it for $649,000. It has an estimated value now of over $1 million. So old homes, if taken care of, can bring real value. So if you take care of a home, it should increase in value, especially in an era of low interest rates. Residential homes that are taken care of in McCandless quickly sell if priced right. 131 Montclair is indistinguishable from the other properties on Montclair Avenue, which are all zoned R2 residential. The neighbors of Montclair and their supporters, which includes some of the family members of the William E. Cobo family, whose estate sold Mr. and Mrs. Ken W. Hoagie the property in 1985 for $60,000, said that the Hoagies said they were not going to use the property for business. Ken and Terry Hoagie maintain that the house at 131 Montclair Avenue is in poor shape. The detriments to the neighbors of the 131 Montclair Avenue being zoned C3 highway commercial are obvious. Most of the neighbors, and some may still be unaware, did not become aware of 131 Montclair Avenue being in a C3 highway commercial district until this year, and bought their properties not knowing 131 Montclair was zoned commercial. They were totally surprised. A commercial site in an otherwise residential neighborhood would bring down the value of the residential properties. The residents now know 131 Montclair is zoned commercial, and they would have to disclose this to potential buyers even though only a house and garage on it. And so the seller has to give a disclosure statement that must be given by the seller to a potential buyer while the house is being showed. Under the disclosure statement on page 8, question 20J, the seller must disclose questions that materially and substantially affect the value or desirability of the property. There is still a potential for a gas station, 24/7 convenience store to go there. In fact, Sheets just filed a land development application for the same 3 properties on Perry Highway across from the current Sheets. If a gas station went there, or even another commercial building, it would definitely bring down the value of the homes on Montclair. There were many other detriments mentioned at the meetings on the Sheets project. I will not mention them now. Ken and Terry are on the record of paying $1 and no more for 131 Montclair. If the Hoagie family kept up the property at 131 Montclair, Ken and Terry could receive a good price for the house and land, and still can receive a good price for the house and land at 131 Montclair as a residential property if they fix it up. In my opinion, the Hoagies do not want to be good neighbors to the people in Montclair and fix up the house and landscape the land at 131 Montclair. They just want to continue to let the property deteriorate in hopes that someone who wants to build a gas station with a 24/7 convenience store will buy the property. What message are we sending to our people if we don't rezone 131 Montclair residential and correct an obvious zoning mistake? Again, a C3 district has to be on a collector road or an arterial road, not a street that ends in a dead end. Are we going to reward people that let their properties deteriorate with no regard for their neighbors? If the Hoagies fix up the house at 131 Montclair, do the necessary landscaping, and town council rezones 131 Montclair except for this parcel A, we can have a win-win situation for both the Hoagies and the residents of Montclair. A person asked me, what does this say to communities surrounding the town of McCandless if we rezone the house at 131 Montclair from highway commercial to residential? My answer is it shows them a town council that is willing to correct a zoning mistake that hurts its citizens by not allowing people who don't take care of their properties to benefit from an erroneous zoning at the detriment of its citizens. The Hoagies did not buy this property for commercial purposes. They kept it residential except for possibly parcel A. Even the tax records show they used it for residential throughout the 33 years of ownership. The house has, until late 2017, always had someone living there. So now that the Sheets has made them an offer, they are now saying they brought it for commercial purposes. This statement is inconsistent with reality. I will now make the motion. I move to approve the initiation of the process to rezone a portion of 131 Montclair Avenue known as Lot 1 of the Kenneth W. Hoagie subdivision as recorded in Plan Book 164, pages 139 and 140 from C3 Highway Commercial District to R2 Single Family and Two Family Dwelling District.
There's been a motion. Is there a second? Is there a second? Hearing no motion, hearing no second, the motion fails. Finance and Personnel Committee.
I move to ratify checklisting number 8 dated June the 7th, 2018 through July 3rd, 2018, totaling $583,160.47 as submitted to each member of council and posted on the bulletin board and town website.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to accept, to ratify the check listing. Are there any questions by council? Or any comments or questions by any of the audience on the list of bills? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of ratifying the check listings, number 8, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
I move to reappoint Kenneth Allshouse to a 4-year term on the Environmental Advisory Committee commencing September 1st, 2018 and expiring August 31st, 2022.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to reappoint Kenneth Allhouse. Are there any other nominations? Are there any comments on this reappointment? Any comments from council, from the audience? Hearing none. All those in favor of reappointing Kenneth Allhouse for a 4-year term on the EAC indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Congratulations, Mr. Allhouse.
I move to reappoint David Menard to a 4-year term on the Environmental Advisory Committee commencing September 1st, 2018, and expiring August 31st, 2022.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to reappoint David Menard for a 4-year term on the EAC. Are there any comments? Are there any other nominations? Any comments from citizens? Hearing none. All those in favor of reappointment of David Menard to a 4-year term on the EAC indicated by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, Mr. Minor.
I move to appoint Roger Body to a 4-year term on the Environmental Advisory Committee commencing September 1st, 2018, and expiring August 31st, 2022.
Second.
There is a motion and a second. My solicitor has informed me that we need to vote on this instead of, before we take any other nominations. So I'm sorry, the first two, I did not proceed in that manner. So I will correct that on here. So we have a motion and a second. And we will, are there any comments from council? From the citizens? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward 3,
Nay.
Ward 4,
Aye.
Ward 5,
No.
Ward 6,
Nay.
Ward 7,
Yes.
Ward 1.
Nay.
The vote was 4 noes, 3 ayes. Motion fails.
Is there another motion?
Deanna.
Would you mind stating formally? I move.
Oh, I'm sorry. I moved to nominate Deanna.
Alfonsi for a 4-year
sorry.
term to the Environmental Advisory Committee, beginning September 1st, 2018, expiring August 22nd, 2022. Any comments from council? Did we get a second?
Second.
Okay, I'm sorry. Did not have a second.
Okay. Steve seconded. Any comment from the audience? Hearing none, the motion is to appoint Dewana Alfonsi to the Environmental Advisory Committee. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Move to award a contract to Insituform Technologies LLC, the lowest responsible bidder, based upon bids received by the North Hills Council of Governments, NHCOG, for cured in-place pipelining services under its 2018-2019 sanitary sewer rehabilitation specifications, contract B for pipes 8-inch through 12-inch installation on a per-foot basis.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to award this contract to the lowest responsible bidder. Any comments or questions from council? Comments or questions from the audience? Hearing none. All those in favor to award this contract indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Recreation Committee.
I move to authorize the town to apply for a National Fitness Campaign 2019 grant in the amount of $30,000 for the installation of a fitness court in 2019 at location determined by the town with the town, A, matching NFC's grant, B, partnering with NFC to find sponsors to pay for the remaining $60,000 of the fitness court, $120,000 price, and C, installing the base for the fitness court at an estimated cost of $11,500. This would bring the town's portion to $41,500.
Second.
There has been a motion and a second to authorize the town to apply for the fitness campaign grant. Are there any questions? Motion and a second. Any questions from the town? The nice thing about this grant is that if we do not get stakeholders to help match those additional funds, the town doesn't lose any money. So unless we can get all these other monies in place, it doesn't cost us anything. So that's a real nice thing. Any comments or questions from citizens? Yes.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Deanna Alfonsi. I do want to make a comment on the fitness court, but thank you for your appointment to the Environmental Advisory Council, and I really look forward to serving well. But I'm actually here in my fitness business owner hat today. I'm the owner of DFit by Deanna, and I've been a fitness professional for about 21 years, and I've owned my own fitness business for about 11 years, and I am within the town of McCandless. And I've experienced many different aspects of the fitness industry. I've had my own fitness studio. I sell fitness products. I'm a trainer. I'm a nutrition specialist, a group fitness instructor, master trainer for other instructors, former physique competitor, etc. So the point is that I've touched almost every aspect that you can within the fitness industry. So when I was brought to my attention that there was a potential opportunity to have a fitness court, I was really excited to explore it. And one of the things I noticed when researching the National Fitness Campaign was their main goal really is to make fitness accessible to everyone and to make it free, which as a fitness professional I'm very excited about because day in and day out that's something that I'm trying to do for people as well. And I did have the opportunity to have a call, it was a screening call to see how valid this opportunity was. And I was actually very impressed. I spoke with Avery with the National Fitness Campaign, and I had the opportunity to ask a lot of questions. And one of the things that really impressed me about the program was just how completely they considered all aspects from inception to completion and beyond. So, for example, if we have a fitness court like this, which is very impressive if you've seen the pictures and you've seen the video, one of the questions is once it's built, how will it get used? So when they really thought of a program that went beyond just getting the funding and the building of it, but what happens to it afterwards. And they have several things that they do. One is they have an app that citizens can use to look at the exercises or go through actual workouts. They also look to form a team of fitness ambassadors through the area, and the job of the fitness ambassadors would be to have activities that are held at the fitness court, help promote community engagement, teach people how to use it. And for the record, I would love to offer my help to the town of McCandless if it was wanted as a fitness ambassador to help get that going and get that participation and engagement. Also, National Fitness Campaign is willing to support us in doing that. So they play a supportive role in holding regional challenges and helping us secure fitness ambassadors. And so I really liked that particular aspect as well. The other thing I liked also is that this is a court that accommodates all fitness levels. So we are right next, we have North Park as part of our community. We attract a lot of health and fitness seekers in the area. I think this fitness court would be a perfect way to supplement that. But it's not just for the elite athletes, it's for all levels. So whether it's basic or someone who's just starting out or advanced, they should have pictures on the wall that show the different options for those of us that aren't into smartphones. And those of us that are, they have an app that they can use. So they really thought about all different aspects of this, which is why I'm very excited about the opportunity, which is why I came to speak on it tonight. So I would love for the council to consider that in their vote tonight, and I'm definitely for it. The town is as well. Thank you.
I have a question for you,
Oh, sure.
if I may.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a fee to someone who comes to be a guide?
To be a fitness ambassador?
Right.
So my understanding with the National Fitness Campaign is, no, there's no fees involved, and my understanding would be it would behoove the fitness ambassador, for example, so me, I have a fitness business, so by helping the community to get involved, it also brings exposure to the fitness ambassador in their business as well, and we have other fitness businesses in the area. So they didn't mention charging fees or that the
So
town would
you
have to
come
pay
and direct?
fees.
You would come and direct those using this facility?
Yes, and one of the things I think the town would have to think about as well is this something that if a fitness professional or an owner wanted to use this fitness court to hold classes and they want to charge the public for the classes, is that something that the town would allow? Would they want you to apply for a permit to do something like that? Or is it something that the town says, no, this is just for the general use of the public? So I'm willing to offer as far as help recruiting other fitness professionals and businesses in the community to let them know about this, encourage them to hold events that could bring awareness to their business and not necessarily charge money to do that.
Then my next question is, if you did come, I'm sorry, if you did come and direct people, not meaning to look at it negatively, but if someone got hurt, who would be responsible? I think those are all things council has to think about.
I agree. I will say typically within the fitness business, especially if you have a fitness professional coming and holding it, it's part of business. People sign a waiver, and typically they have to submit a couple forms. For example, car Q form, which does a basic screening of someone's fitness level, if there would be any limitations by their doctor. They sign off on that before engaging in an activity. So that's that's every day in the fitness business. And that's how we're able to operate. But I would suggest that if the town has fitness businesses using the court, that it be a requirement that those businesses get the waivers, and they're usually required to carry their own insurance, but that shouldn't be a problem if it's a well-established business.
One thing does bother me. And again, I sound like I'm looking at the negative, but I think these are things that we have to think about.
Mm-hmm.
We would want it to be open to all
I agree.
people in the community.
Absolutely.
But if businesses are coming in to use it, then again, what's happening is that's limiting the amount of time that the community can use it.
My understanding is it could be used at the same time, but again, that's something the town could decide that they didn't necessarily, they wanted to just keep it open for citizen use and not use it for business use. But I would say that if you made that decision, that would probably really limit the amount of awareness engagement you can bring to the fitness court to some extent. I mean, they would still have the app, but that would be the other, kind of the flip side of that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't mean to be negative on them, because I think it's a great idea. I just think these are all things we have to think about.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
I think the National Fitness Campaign, if we get this grant, if we choose to go forward with it, and we get all the stakeholders involved, I feel certain that they have guidelines to help us figure out these things, and that we can go through those. And this is just a motion to authorize the town to apply for the grant. And then we can work out the details once we get it. We could always get into it and say, you know what, this is not what we want, and back right out, costs us nothing.
That's the other part of it.
That's the nice part, yes.
Thank you for the information.
Sure, thank you.
Any other comments? All right, there has been a motion and a second to move to authorize the town to apply for the grant for the National Fitness Campaign. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there any unfinished business? I have one thing that I meant to announce earlier, and that is that if you look on our website, we are advertising for a junior council member. There's a junior council member program, and that we're taking applications now for that. It is a junior, senior in high school in NA that lives in McCandless, and those interviews will be in October, so that's on our website. Any other unfinished business? New business?
I move to accept the retirement notification of the from the town manager, Toby M. Cordick, pursuant to the terms of the letter dated August 7th, 2018.
Second.
There has been a motion and a second to accept the retirement notification from our town manager. Are there any comments or questions from council?
I'd like to comment and compliment Toby for the many years of excellent service that he's performed for the town of McCandless and its citizens, and wish him well as he moves on to the rest of his life, whatever that is. But I know from my personal involvement with Toby, observing him in his daily work and interfacing with all sorts of things, that he's a very dedicated person, very knowledgeable and hardworking. Nothing but good things to say about him. Toby, good luck to you. Thank you.
I would also like to say thank you to Toby, and I think we have a very big job ahead of us because we have very big shoes to fill. So I think it's going to be a task to fill those shoes, and I wish you good luck.
And the retirement date is not until January 11th, so he'll still be with us for a while yet.
Madam President?
Yes.
I'd just like to add what a privilege it has been for me, even in my short term on council, to work with Mr. Tobias Cordick, and certainly in January he will be missed. Thank you.
Any other comments by council? Any comments from citizens? Hearing none, the motion has been made to accept the retirement notification from our town manager. All those indicate by saying affirming aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Where there's public comment on unrelated items on the agenda or on the agenda. If you're Mr. Chance, are there any comments? Anyone make any comments?
Good evening. My name is Glenn Nelson. I live at 2058 Carriage Hill Road. The last time I appeared before you was at your April meeting, and that evening I was here to support the resolution that was sponsored by Fair Districts. After that meeting and the results of that particular meeting, I within a few weeks received my edition of McMail, and I eagerly looked through it to see how that what was said. Point in fact, nothing was said. Everything, but everything that transpired at that meeting was in that McMail, except for a comment about what happened. This bothered me. So I wrote my representative on council, who referred it to administration, who did respond to me, and what they said, and I'm going to paraphrase here, but if you need to, I can go back and get the original email. Basically what was said was that the resolution didn't qualify to be published. There were only certain types of resolutions that were public, those that dealt with services and programs, I believe was the way it was worded. This concerned me. I subsequently wrote another letter to the administration, administrator who responded to me, and also I copied my representative on council. I have yet to receive a response from either of them with regard to this. A few months prior, I spent a great deal of time with the strategic planning questionnaire. There was a lot of questions on that about communications, and I spent some time answering and responding to them. As a result of this incident, I'm a little confused about what communication means and what it is and what it isn't. But I think a more important issue that council should be concerned about is you voted, you took a position. That position and the fact that you voted was not reported to the residents of the community that you serve. I think this is a disservice. It makes me wonder also what other things that you vote on might not being shared with the community. I don't know if you can answer me this evening, or we can talk about this evening, but I hope at some time in the future that you'll consider these issues and take them seriously enough and deal with them in some fashion. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comment. Are there any other comments from the citizens? Please come up. It is, yes. Mhm.
My name is Katie Simmons. I live on Grubbs Road, and I just want a clarification, and I want to commend Mr. Wakakis for his meticulous detailed about the zoning issue. The way I'm seeing it, the fact that none of the other council supported him, is that just because that's their feeling, or when something is zoned incorrectly, don't we have some kind of legal precedent that it has to be corrected? I'm just very concerned that this sets such a precedent that everyone's kind of like, I don't really want to do that, so I'm going to say not support him. So can someone clarify, or am I allowed to ask the council members specifically why no one else supported him? It seems like it was an error that wasn't corrected, so that's what I'm trying to understand.
This is a time for comments.
Okay.
And it's a very long, complex explanation that we can give you. Would it be fair for her to submit that question, and then we can answer?
I mean, I'm happy to, at
Right.
a different thing, send an email, like make it more formal at a different venue, but it's very concerning to me because I have no idea what their rationale is. There's 6 other people.
I'll give you mine right now.
Well,
Yeah.
And it's quick.
that's not
Yeah.
appropriate. That's not what we do here.
That's why I'm asking
what
again. I don't-
you know what I would like? You are in my ward. If you will send, if you will just send me, because I don't know that I have contact information from you, like an email.
Sure.
I will be glad to explain the whole thing to you.
Okay.
My rationale, how I
Okay.
see it,
But-
and what my
But there's
thoughts are.
not a way to, this evening, me to understand how it can't even be what their opinion is as council. It's correcting a zoning. If they've been paying, if it's residential, it's clear there's residential. That's very concerning to me.
If it was that clear, it's not that clear to everyone.
Okay.
Everyone doesn't see it that same way, obviously. So I will be glad to explain to you the best I can.
And then if I'm not satisfied with that, or there's some kind of legal thing that seems to still be kind of out there, maybe you're the legal guy.
Yeah, I won't be providing legal advice to individual citizens, but I mean, each
It's not advice, it's
information.
not setting
Yeah,
precedent.
it's the
You
same.
won't be?
I will not be, no. I
Why?
provide advice to council
Uh-huh.
privately.
Well, so
it's
how does-
privileged
what is-
communication.
so
if
what
you
is
want
the citizen-
explanations from each individual council member, you have to talk to them. I think you start with
Right.
the person in your ward. Why the folks voted up here the way they did, I don't know the answer to
But
that question.
citizens can't ask them.
You can't ask them, this is not a question and answer period.
Hmm.
So if you want to individually talk to these folks, they're elected officials.
But who would I ask about, again, when there's something that's, it's very clear cut, and then.
Is it, but, obviously they didn't feel like it was clear cut,
Uh-huh.
people on
But
council.
you're
and
speaking
they'll-
for
and they'll
them,
explain
yeah.
they'll have to explain that to you themselves, because I can't talk for them.
Okay. All right. We all have to live with our decisions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Hi, good evening. Marcia Caliendo, Mohegan Avenue. I want a follow-up question to Mr. Nelson's comment. I was at that April meeting as well, and I believe the resolution was also for the town to vote on it, which they approved, to also send letters to our representatives and to the Commonwealth that we believe that fair districts is something that we should look into and that the state should have. If there wasn't anything communicated to the rest of the residents of McCandless, can we be assured that that information was sent and conveyed to our state legislature?
Any other comments? Okay, hearing none, the public comment session is closed. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Okay. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.